Hello, inmates, and welcome back to the cellblock Scorch. This is Scorch 45, and this is Peixe. Importantly, I did not actually win this Scorch. What happened was we had the winner decide that the Scorch they wrote is not to be available for public consumption, and so I unrightfully get to read mine. This week was funny because the prompt was Make Me Cry from Lost. And 4 of us wrote for it, and every single one of us chose to write fan fiction because I guess I felt it was easier to bring out emotion from an already established base than to try and build something up. Not that you can't do something short and simple and bring a lot of emotion. I think there have been a bunch of Scorches like that, but for some reason all 4 of us were like, no, this is the moment for fan fiction. So, my entire piece is inspired by a particular panel of My Hero Academia, the manga. So, I actually haven't even read this manga. I only knew of this panel because I watched the anime, so I was in the internet circles where this panel was being shared and talked about and sobbed about. So, that panel I think will be provided. You can take a look at it on the Patreon, just the image of it. Hopefully in better quality than the one that I submitted with my Scorch, because this is pretty blurry, pretty bad. It's probably a screenshot, honestly. Tragic. But, should I talk about the panel first, or should I read the Scorch first? I think I will talk about the panel first, so there's context, because otherwise I don't think the Scorch makes very much sense. Anyway, the panel shows Rei Todoroki holding a bunch of letters, and she's saying, Shoto's always sending me letters, and Shoto is her son, and it shows Shoto, who is writing his letters. As Rei says, apparently the provisional license supplementary classes have been a handful, but he's doing his best to catch up to his friends. Which is just the cutest thing ever. So, I have feelings about it, which is why I decided that Lost should have feelings about it. Lost had more feelings about somebody else's Scorch, but that's okay. Alright, I will read the Scorch now. Before we begin, it is suggested that this piece cannot be properly enjoyed unless the reader is slicing onions as they go. Friday in a mental hospital. Excuse me, nurse. Is something wrong? Why haven't we received our letters yet? Bit of a crisis in the adjacent wing, but don't worry, we'll have those out to you soon. I know how you look forward to them. Of course! It's the best part of the week! The woman looked through her letters with excitement, then gave the tiniest sigh, shrugged her shoulders, and opened the first one. Something the matter, miss? Oh, nothing much. I've never received a letter from my eldest son, but with the youngest suddenly writing, well, I guess I got my hopes up. Oh, did I tell you I recognized your son when he came in a few weeks back? I saw him on TV. He's incredible. The woman beamed, holding her letters close to her chest. He's wonderful. He tries so hard to be the best he can. The nurse smiled, turning to go. It's always nice chatting with you, but I know you want to read your letters, so I'll see you in a bit, Miss Todoroki. Okay. So, obviously, a very short piece. I don't know why I was picked as the reader to read a Scorch instead of, I don't know how Bones decided for me to read it what am I even trying to say? There were 4 people who submitted. The winner didn't want to read. I don't know why I was picked as runner-up. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I like it. It's short and sweet, and I have more emotional ties to the Todoroki family, probably, than anything else about My Hero Academia. Probably everything else in that anime could, take it or leave it. But I like the Todoroki family. I actually have a tendency to do that in, works of fiction, to pick a particular family and care a lot more about them than anybody else. In Harry Potter, it's the Black family. I care a lot about all of them for some reason. I was just reading something the other day where another family popped into my head. Oh, yes. No, I wasn't reading. I was thinking about Teen Wolf and how I feel that way about the Hale family as well. Anyway, fun facts about Peixe for free. Okay, is that all I wanted to say? Oh, yes. So in this Scorch, I mentioned the eldest son, and at that point in time, not much had been revealed about the eldest son at all. So there were suspicions within fandom about who he was, and I believed them, but not a lot had been revealed. So that's why it's kind of written the way that it is. Anyway, I did not give the prompt for the next week, but I will tell you what it was. It was Octo's prompt, because Octo was the winner, and the prompt is in miniature, with the note that it cannot be a shrinking person story. So look forward to Scorch 46. Thank you all for enjoying this podcast, and keep those fires burning, y'all.
Hey inmates, it's Bones, abusing my editing privileges because it's been a while, and I just wanted to jump in and say that for the record, the reason that Peixe was chosen to read the Scorch is because Peixe and Cricket and I were all in a room together, and I said, hey, Octo doesn't want to read this week, and both of you wrote things that week. Which one of you wants to read? And they had a discussion, and they decided that Peixe would be the reader. So, the answer is Peixe volunteered. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Alright, keep y'all's fires burning. The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. We can be reached at thestellacore@gmail.com, through comments on your podcast platform of choice, our Instagram, Stella_core, and at our YouTube, also called Stellacore. Follow Cellblock Scorch Podcast on Instagram, or the Cellblock Scorch on Tumblr to see the prompt the day before the episode drops and a quote from each Scorch the day after, with flavor commentary from Red, our social media manager. Feel free to check out our other productions on our YouTube channel, or our cosplays on Instagram. If you would like to support our creative endeavors, you can give a one-time tip to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches, or check out our Patreon, linked in the show notes. There, you can access the Scorches and episode transcripts for free, or sign up for Spark level support for $5 a month to gain access to our Embers as well.